Hello everyone, and welcome to Adventure Materials. This is episode 6 of our Let's Play of Ruins of the Undercity, a random dungeon generator by Kabuki Kaiser designed for Labyrinth Lord and other early Dungeons & Dragons games, and Ironsworn by Sean Tompkin, the excellent single-player or GM-less story-based role-playing game. And we are playing this Labyrinth Lord or Lamentations of the Flame Princess or Dungeons & Dragons adventure using Ironsworn Rules, which is a little bit of a hack that we're coming up with as we go. Ironsworn is really made for more narrative adventures, but so far it's been working great, and I am excited to continue. In our last episode, we finally made enough of a name for ourselves to be able to hire an NPC ally. We found Zorbird the Fair, a thief who is wrongly, quote, accused of stealing in another town, and he was so desperate for work that he came and he met us and in a tavern, the Cracked Anvil Inn, and he has decided to join up with our team. So we've got Pember the Knight, who is a not quite a paladin, like she doesn't have magic, but she's our charismatic face of our group, and then Cormac the Cryptic, a sorcerer who carries around a necromantic tome that he just opened for the first time with our last level up, which raised his wits to level 4. So he's going to be a little bit more powerful going in, and he's got a full lineup of invoke power. So we should hopefully have a good delve. And then if we take a look at our quests here, we need to kill a scarred kobold and recover treasure. So this is for a woman named Ha Paul the Merciless. She's an agent for an unknown wizard. And then we're also looking for history about the ruins for Hobarton the Young, a sage of the, or I guess a wizard of the Sages Guild. And then finally, we are looking for a buyer for a couple of mysterious tapestries that we recovered. Now these are heavy tapestries. Let's see. Find buyer for tapestries. We thought we were going to be able to sell them, but then when we rolled our resupply for it, we got I can't remember if it was a miss or a weak hit. It's been a couple days since I played. But regardless, something about them turned people off. They weren't willing to buy them. So we've got kind of an ongoing mystery about these tapestries that reveal some dark secret that people in the city of Spires don't want any part of. So they're not willing to buy them. So with that, I think it's time to start delving. So this is the first floor here. And then we've got to head down this way, and we're exploring the second floor down here. We've got 2 grates here. We tried busting this one open and it didn't work. It might be time to see if our thief knows anything about it. I don't think so. It's unlikely, but we might as well check and see if there's a grate or a lock or something that he can pick his way through. So let's start with the adventure. We'll pull up our thing. I think this is probably a no-go for now until I get somebody strong or can try to get like another crowbar or something. But for now, let's roll just and see if there's a chance that he could pick his way through or something. So let's roll. Let's say a 10 or under. I think it's unlikely. So I think there's only a 10% chance there's a lock on it. Maybe a 25% chance. That'd be better. 82. No, there's no lock. Okay. So yeah, we take a look. There's nothing we could do, so we've just got to move on. First, I think we're going to start by doing our Delve the Depths move to get back to where we started. That's just going to represent all of the wandering monster checks as we pass through this caving in cellar, and then through these rooms, through this water-filled corridor. If you haven't seen the rest of this adventure, go back and watch some of the earlier episodes. We start off a little slow, but we're making pretty quick progress now. Come down here, another water-filled tunnel, and then through this trap chamber and into a mausoleum here, which is where we last fought, and we killed a couple of zombies in there. So let's see, Delve the Depths. So I think we're just going to go with wits. I don't think we need to sneak in or anything. Let's see, we're going to roll Cormac. We'll roll wits here. Miss with a match, my word. Okay, well, reveal a danger. I think that seems pretty clear. We're probably going to have a wandering monster fight. Let's see. What kind of danger are we going to find? Encounter a hostile denizen. Excellent. Okay, so that means I need to see, do we encounter the monster up here on the first floor or on the second floor? I'm going to roll this d6 on a 1 through 3. It's the first floor, 4 through 6, second floor. 6, second floor. Okay. So we then are I'm going to take a quick roll on the monster level 2 list of Ruins of the Undercity and see what we encounter. Okay, we got 17 on the level 2 monster list. That is a coffer corpse, which is a unique enemy to the ruins of the Undercity. It is a foul and tough zombie. It rises again when killed with normal weapons, and it strangles its victim. Let's see, so according to this, we need a +1 or better weapon to hit it. That's going to make it tough. It falls to the ground when inflicted with 6 HP of damage or more with normal weapons, but then it rises again. Okay, so none of us have any magic weapons, so there's not a lot we can do. I think in this case, I'm going to try to do a face danger, gather information. I think gather information with Lord to see if I recognize this type of zombie. So let's start with that. I guess first we need to enter the fray, because we're going to be starting the fight. When you enter into combat, set the rank of each of your foes, and then roll. I'm not sure if we were ambushed. We were moving with wits, but we got a miss, so I think ambushed counts, so I guess we'll just roll there. Okay, strong hit. Okay, so that's fine. We saw the ambush coming and we were able to avoid it. But now I need to secure an advantage to see. I get to add 1. Knowing this, having this very powerful wit score is really coming in handy. Alright, I don't have a few hours to search my archive. So it's only a straight +1. Alright, let's roll. Okay, yeah, so he recognizes I got a strong hit with a match. That would bump my momentum, but unfortunately I've just already tapped out on momentum. I need to use it for something. I think we're going to just try to flee this guy since we know that we can't fight him. And I don't really want to use up all of my spells trying to fight a monster by myself. So instead, let's face danger. And I think we're going to face danger with edge. I think that's all we can do here. Who has the higher edge? The knight. I guess they both have the same edge. And honestly, I should probably roll with the lower edge instead. So we'll have Cormac roll, since we've had him roll so far. Okay, we're going to face danger with edge to try to escape. Yeah, I don't think I could do an actual end the fight roll here. Alright. A weak hit. And so I believe if we face danger, we succeed but face a troublesome cost. Delayed, lose an advantage, or face a new danger. Suffer -1 momentum, or endure harm, endure stress, or supply. Let's see, I think I'll just take the -1 momentum. So we see the zombie coming and we're able to run past it. And we're able to escape, but it really slows us down and we have to kind of, maybe we see it in one of these rooms and we're able to barricade it back behind something. We find some, we don't really have a door, but maybe there's enough stuff that we're able to pin it down and escape down through these southern tunnels. And now we come here and we are finally in our room here. We're in this chamber where the zombies are prepared, and we're going to open a door. Alright, beyond this door is a 20 by 20 foot room with 2 exits. And let's see, where are those exits? They are on the same wall. That doesn't make sense. We don't have room for that. 11, they're on the left wall and the right wall. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So let's draw that in. We'll just put this right here. I like having that there. Okay, and then we'll put a couple of doors on it. Okay, I think for the same wall, I'll just take that to mean that it's on this side. And then this, why did the, had it on the wrong section. There we go. So we put a door in here. Change door styles for a second so it matches. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So we've got that, and then let's put in our room text. Okay. Oop, it's a little smaller, but I think that's okay. All right. And then let's see what's in here. All right, rolling on my random tables, I see that it's a damp and moldy room, basically nondescript. You know, it kind of matches the rest of the corridor or the chamber. You know, there's moisture on the floor, but it's not to the level of standing water. And I see a on the random table list, I see some battered shields. So there's evidence here of a battle. There's some broken swords, a battered shield lying on the ground, things like that. And let's see if it's lit. 88. Clay lamps and alcoves. Okay, so I like that. We're kind of in the older section here. There's kind of cubbies in the walls where oil lamps burn and cast like kind of a smoky haze through the room. And now let's see if there's what we actually encounter in this room. All right, so for that I'm going to roll a d20 here. I got a 17. Trap. Uh-oh. So I need to roll on the traps table. We're moving with wits, which is what we would want to avoid a trap, but we got a miss, so we'll have to see here. All right, roll d100 on the trap table. 10. It's a pit 10 feet deep, and so that says we're allowed to save and petrification halves according to the official rules. So we run into a pit trap here. So I think we open this door and we're going to fall in. But I think we've got a chance here because we've got our NPC ally. We've got Zorber the Fair. He's a thief. Let's see. Save versus petrification. So I don't think this is the kind of thing that we can avoid necessarily or see. It's totally covered. That's why we can't use wits for it. So I think we just have to use edge, and we're testing our reflexes here. So I'll have Cormac roll again because he's Pembro would be the first one in, so I'm gonna have her roll. So let's see. Fingers crossed. Strong hit. Nice. Okay. So she can't get any more momentum again. I'm wasting a lot of momentum, but she passes that face danger roll. She leaps backwards and is able to avoid the trap. But the door clatters open and it reveals a dark pit that descends a dozen feet deeper into the earth. And they make their way around the pit, and they decide which direction to go. I think I'm going to head back up north now. So let me go and roll on the table and see what's beyond this door. Okay, we get a corridor that stretches straight ahead. It's unlit, and it's made of rough masonry and a dirt floor. Interesting. Okay, so not quite a cave, but it's rough masonry. I don't know. That's pretty close to a cave. I think I'll do this with cave drawing here. So let's see. We're gonna have this stretch out. And then we'll bring it out this way. Oop, that was the wrong one. Hold on just a second. It's this guy. Okay, so we get a 30-foot cave here, or 30-foot tunnel that's unlit, and it's a cave. All right, and then let's see corridor features. 24. That's dank and moldy. Okay, nothing to see here. So now we're going to continue rolling. Let's see. All right, we've got 9. That's another 30-foot length of corridor. 94. Ooh, there's a random item. I think these are usually just character color items. So let's roll on there. D20 to 10. Battered shield again. That's odd. I'm going to roll another one. Oh, actually, I'm not going to roll another one. There's more evidence of the battle. So whatever had happened before, it's clear that it's fought in its way here. So there's, ruined equipment here, and it spreads out into the corridor up this way. And then let's see which direction this corridor goes. 7. It's a side passage that opens to the left. Interesting. Okay. So it goes out this way for 30 feet. And we still have this side. Oops. Because it doesn't just end. So I think that means we need to open it up again for another 30 feet this way. Oop. Okay, so yeah, so we've got this side passage here. That's what we rolled up, and so I need to roll to see what's actually extending this way. It's not just directly extending. All right, I was right to roll. It's a large chamber, 30 by 30 feet, with 2 more exits, and those exits are on the same wall and opposite wall. Okay, so we're in a cave system here, so I think we'll keep drawing cave exits here. Let's see, so we'll do this 30 by 30 feet. So we're going to do it up this way, and then we'll have the corridor going out that way, coming down here, and then I think it's going to come over there, and then come out here. Perfect. Okay, and then we've got an exit going there and an exit going here if I decide to go into the corridor or into this chamber. I think I am going to go into the chamber. Okay, let me make a mark here that shows it keeps going. Okay. So let's go into this chamber and see what we've got. Chamber room features. Roll D100. 97. Roll twice. 76. We've got mummified corpses and damp and moldy. Okay. So we step into this room and it's a burial chamber. There's niches in the wall showing, or not showing, but that hold a bunch of corpses that are in, burial dress, and they're sunk lengthwise into the wall, I think. Think like a morgue. There are these nooks, and there's dozens of them, 8 or 10 high, and then they go 6 feet in, or 8 feet in, and the people are all slid in there. And there's corridors stretching to the north and south. And let's see what's actually in here. We know that it's rough stone and it's unlit, so this is definitely something old that we found here. 8. Empty. Okay, so there's no monsters and no treasure. So the party stands here taking a look, but even though they browse through do a little bit of light grave robbing, but they don't see anything worthy of note. So now I think it's time to continue. So we're going to roll a Delve the Depths move. I should have done that last time. It's hard to remember to do the Delve the Depths move every time, but I really should be. All right, so let's roll wits. Mark progress. Okay, so that's just an easy discovery. We succeeded at our adventure here. I should really be rolling it on this one. Strong hit to know how successfully I succeeded. Okay, so we continue down this way. I want to flip it and see what we're going to find. Okay, I rolled a 12, which is a door. Nice. So I'm going to... We obviously can't continue down this way too far, so I'm going to have it loop around and have a door up here instead. Discretion must prevail if something doesn't fit. So we'll bring this up here, kind of a twisting tunnel that leads out of the cave. All right, and then we've got a door on there. Let's put it here. Nice, okay. And so what kind of door is this? I'm imagining it's wood since it's set in the side of a corridor, but we've got a map or a table for that, so let me flip to it. 20. It's a grate. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, if I didn't get any more of these grates, it would be too soon. This is the third grate we've rolled. And there's only a 1 in 20 chance, so a 5% chance. And of all these doors, only doors and corridors, those are the only ones I've rolled for, and all 3 of them have been grates. That's odd. But, okay, so we know that this continues up this way. The tunnel continues beyond the grate, I'm sure. Oops, okay. Show that continues, and then I need to erase this wall and put that back. Okay, there we go. It's a little thin. Let's do it again. It's close enough. It's not great, but it's okay. Okay, so we can't go that way. Let me copy these grate lines. Bring that up there. So we found a dead end until we can find a way to get through these grates. We need some spell or better gear or something like that. But I think it's time now to delve the depths going a different direction. So I'm going to roll wits again, and we're going to retrace our steps and head north instead. Another strong hit. Okay, so let's see what we get when we get a strong hit on Delve the Depths wits. Okay, we get to mark progress and find an opportunity. So I have not really been marking progress here. I probably should be. I think instead what I'm going to be doing is giving us instead a single mark on delving the depths, or a single mark on the Undercity for each time we complete a delve. I've been doing it a little bit differently, but I think it's making too much progress. And I feel like actually doing 40 rooms would not be enough for a mega dungeon, but maybe 40 delves would be. So if I do 1 tick each time we successfully complete a delve, I think that might be a sufficient amount of depth to show like 1 large dungeon. So I will be doing that each time as long as we can make sufficient progress to actually explore a room or 2. or a couple of rooms per delve. But so we will get to roll to find an opportunity. So let me roll on that. And let's see, an aspect of history or nature of the place is revealed. Excellent. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so now let me roll and see what we find, and we're going to take that into consideration as aspect of history. So let's see, what's beyond this corridor? First, it always says that anytime you come out of a chamber, actually the rulebook says room, but I think the rules are a little confused. They talk about, they kind of mix up chambers and doors, or chambers and rooms. So there we go. So we'll do that. Okay, now let's see what's beyond this. Okay, we get a damp and moldy 30 by 20 foot chamber. Kind of what we've been dealing with so far, but we're going to, this kind of a roughly hewn cave, just kind of chiseled out of the stone. But this one, it says, is lit by a single torch. So there's something here already. And then let's see what the room contents are. 8. Empty. Okay. But we are going to learn something of the dungeon here. So let's see. We'll add 13. Mark that room. And it says no exits here, unfortunately. So we marked the room right there. We stepped into this kind of small, crummy chamber. And then what do we find out about the room? How does this reveal the nature of the Undercity? So let's roll a couple of times here and see what we can find. Challenge battle. Suppress revenge. Challenge battle sounds obvious. The ruins here were built as part of a battle, but suppress revenge. Okay, so I think maybe in this roughly hewn chamber, we find chiseled into the walls very faint letters, markings, and they're ones that Cormac can read. They're in his book, because we have to learn something about this, and he is a researcher who's here. And so these tunnels, it talks about, as we read this text, we read the story of, they don't call themselves rebels, but it's clear that they were rebelling against the Sultan at the time. But they think they were doing it for just reasons. But they lost. And their entire sect, I don't know if they're a religious sect or a political one, it's not clear. Maybe in those days it was so intertwined that there's no difference. But their entire sect was gathered up, and they were brought down, and they were made by overseers to work these tunnels and to dig basically their own crypts, their own tombs, and then they were forced to set themselves in them and die. So they were basically forced to bury their entire sect alive, while the surviving sultanate watched, which is pretty brutal. But I think that's going to give me history of the ruins. And I think that's what we need to complete this quest. So I don't think we're going to head back to town yet, because you never know, we might find something more. But I am happy that we found this chamber. It gives us quite a bit of info about the dungeon, and now we know what's going on. So there's 2 sects working in the city, and one of them was destroyed, and they were left down here. Alright, it's always nice to knock out a quest. So now let's do another delve. I think we're going to head east now, because we really only have... I guess we could head out this way, but let's keep exploring these tombs, these crypts. A weak hit. Okay, so let's... when we get a weak hit, we have to roll on our Delve the Depths roll. And moving wits is a little bit more careful, but it could still be dangerous. So let's see. 84. Take both. Mark progress and find an opportunity. Okay, no, so we got lucky. And I forgot to take the momentum after that last one. When you find an opportunity, you're supposed to gain an advantage. So I'm going to have him gain the momentum. And now we find an opportunity. So we will gain momentum, or we will get a bonus to our move. So let's see. What do we find? 81. The area provides you an opportunity to scavenge, forage, or hunt. Interesting. Okay, but we are mostly full up. I think the only thing I'm low on is spirit for Cormac. Why isn't it switching? There we go. But it might be an opportunity to resupply or to hearten. Is that what it's called? Hearten in this one. Heal, resupply. Let me take a look. Oh, maybe this one doesn't have a hearten. I guess we have to camp to regain spirit. Okay. So in that case, let's see. This might be an okay place to make camp. Let's see what we encounter. We know that this is going to provide some opportunity to scavenge, forage, or hunt, and I'm going to get a +1 bonus to my next roll. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so I rolled up a T-shaped side passage. So let's stretch this out 30 feet in each direction. Okay, and then the north one, which is the direction I'm going, ends in a chamber. So let's see what's in that chamber. Okay, it is 20 by 30, basically standard, with no exits, and it has an ancient statue and another set of tapestries. Interesting. Those tapestries only have a 1 in 100 chance of coming up, and I have rolled them 3 times out of 15 rooms, which is shockingly unlikely. But we're rolling it as we see them, and I think that means that maybe something was meant to be discovered here. Okay, so we've got room 14. 14, there we go, which is dominated by a large central statue. Here, let's put this somewhere else so we can draw that statue in. I always like that. All right, there we go. Got a little hexagon in there. That's the statue. And then there's tapestries on the wall. And I'm assuming that these are more of the same type of tapestry, that kind of mysterious. They show some signs, but they're too faded to really be able to tell too much of like what's actually going on. But very clearly there's this recurring motif that's kind of a twisted spiral, fractal, maybe it's a fractal thing, kind of a fractal sigil or pattern, like worked around the outside in gilt. And because it's gold, it's still like fresh and very distinct from kind of the weathered, moldy and mildewed tapestry. All right, let's see what's in here. 20. Uh-oh. Treasure only. Oh, nice. All right, so let's see what we're getting. I always love a treasure only room. Here we go. So we've got 5. It is precious conch shells worth 200 gold pieces. And then it's contained in 8 pottery jars. Okay, nice. And so now we have to see whether it's trapped. All right, let's hope not. 2. Not trapped. Okay, nice. So we step into this room and we see this gigantic statue of a man. I'm assuming it's a man. Let me see. I guess it could also be a statue of an animal or something. Let me roll. Is it a statue of a sultan? I think that's probably 75% likely. Yes, it is. Okay. So it's one, or I guess maybe I don't know if it's a sultan. It could be a statue to to whoever these guys worshipped, the guys who had to kill themselves in the area. It's not clear. Maybe that's something to ask. I'm going to put that down on my threads list. So when you play using Mythic GM Emulator, it's important to write down threads and NPCs because they can come up later. Statue in the dungeon. Now, these aren't always important threads, but you can just leave open little things, little mysteries that you want to know about. Like, I want to learn about this. It's kind of something that I want to remind myself to ask Hobarton. And when you roll mythic events, sometimes things will come up that will pull these back into the story and make them interesting, which is one way that mythic creates such interesting and organic feeling stories. But okay, so from that, so we find that statue, and at the base of it are a series of pottery jars. and we crack them open carefully. But I don't have to make a face danger roll because I know that there's no traps on it already. But we find conch shells worth 200 GP. There we go. All right, and now we will delve the depths again. And I get to add 1 because, oh, actually, no, I'm going to do that make camp and see if I can raise my spirit. So let's make that make camp roll. We can roll supply. So we get to add 5 there. And we get to add 1 because we found that opportunity. So we find this site, and I think maybe the thing that makes it such a good place to rest is it's clean. The tapestries don't look disturbed. You know, these pottery is old and dust covered. And when you sit here at the foot of the statue, we really feel at rest. This doesn't feel like the kind of place where a monster would come. And I don't think it's the kind of place where we're going to rest like overnight, but just a good place to take a breather. Let's see. Weak hit. Okay, you and your allies may each choose 1. So I think she's at Pembra is at maximum everything, unfortunately. So she's going to waste some of hers, but Cormac gets 1 health back. And I guess I'll take the prepare for Pembra, which would give her +1 to a stat to roll on the next undertake a journey. But I still don't want her undertaking a journey, so it doesn't matter. We'll just let that go. She's not going to get anything. Okay, so now we will do an undertake a journey, and we'll head deeper into the dungeon. All right, let's see. Strong hit. Excellent. Okay, so let's see what we find. We get to mark progress and find an opportunity. So how is this next section going to benefit us? Let's see. We roll. 92. We are alerted to a potential threat. Okay, so we're going to have a nice advantage. If there is a threat here, there's some clue to it. And we're going to get +1 on our next roll. So that's good. So let's see what we find after this. All right, and what we find is a pit falling down 1 level, stairs down 1 level. I think the alert is a danger, and we've only got 1 recurring danger here, and that's the Scarred Kobold. So I think I'm going to mark progress on this, since this is the only threat that we've got that we need to find. And I'm going to say what happens here is we emerge into this small chamber, not big, just 20 feet or something like that. And in the middle of it is this dark pit that descends into the earth, and there's a rope hanging from it, like tied to a post, a beam here or something, and it falls down into this pit. And when we look around, we see more detritus, more scenes of the previous battles, so it's clear that someone's been fighting here. And of particular note, there's a couple of dead kobolds here. So, and some dead people. There was a battle, but so there's dead kobolds and dead people, and none of the kobolds are the one that Hadapal is looking for, or her master are looking for. But it's clear that we're going the right direction. So we need to descend here down to the 3rd floor to try to find the Scarred Kobold. Man, that is... I really cannot believe that we've had such bad luck here. I guess we could go this way. So we do have a couple of extra doors, but we know if we're going to pursue this Kobold quest, we have to go down into this pit. Oop, wrong layer. Hold on a second. All right, how deep should this pit be? There we go. Okay, so we've got this little ruined pit, and that we have to descend into if we're going to choose to go that way. If we want to finish Hadapal's quest, I'm not sure that we're ready to go down to the 3rd floor just yet, actually. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I think instead we'll head up to these ones and explore more of this floor as we decide to head deeper. But we're hitting 35 minutes on this session, so I think I'm going to wrap this one up, make it a little bit shorter. So we're going to roll an escape the dungeon roll. Where is it? Yep, and so we're going to leave, and we're going to just retrace our steps. This is a straight wits roll. Nothing crazy here. Strong hit, no problem. Get +1 momentum, but we're already at max. We didn't really have too many issues this fight. We had that one monster that we couldn't fight, but we had to flee from. Lost a little momentum doing that, but it wasn't too much trouble. And as we see, you know, we keep a close eye out for it as we come out this time, and we use our wits, and we're keeping an eye out for it, and we managed to slip past it without too much trouble. And we return to the surface. And now, I think we're going to leave it here this time. Our thief didn't come in too handy. We've got a couple of quests to do, but because we're running out of time, I think we'll leave it. And I think next time we'll start our episode off with the conclusion of our quest, because we've got this history of the ruins. We have to track down Hobarton at the Sages Guild, and hopefully that will help us do some tapestry. So I think we're going to get some city questing in with the next one before we descend back into the dungeon. All right, so I think that wraps up episode 6. Thank you all for joining me as we descended into the Undercity once more. I think our characters, Pembra and Cormac, are getting a little stronger. We're about to get another experience point, which won't be enough to really do anything. Ooh, shoot there. I deleted something here. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, so thank you for joining me. We are going to be coming back next week. I hope you'll join us. Please take a second to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thumbs up the content if you're liking it, and hit the bell to be notified when we come up with the next one. Sorry that things are a little bit janky. You know, the speed that we're going sometimes it's hit or miss. I'm new to YouTube, and frankly, we're new to this game. You know, I've played a fair amount of Ruins of the Undercity, played a fair amount of Ironsworn, but this is my first time trying to make the two of them work together. And it's quite fun, but it's quite the challenge too, because this is not necessarily how the game is meant to be played, but honestly, I think it works great. I'm going to give our characters a mark here for a successful third dungeon delve. I think finding 4 more rooms here, or 5 if you count the staircase, is quite good. And we'll have quite the full-size dungeon if we keep making progress like that. So I think that's going to wrap it up. I hope to see you all back next time as we have a lot of surface encounters, surface questing, as we try to complete this quest, and we try to make a little progress on this one. We should have some good NPC action. All right, everybody, have a great night.